they sure love this place. I was thinking earlier, you know, when the choir was up there, we were singing, we were dancing in the light of God. I don't want to give this away, but you may not know this, but one of our choir members is a former go-go dancer. And we bring all that spirit right into our worship every week. And I love it. What? Well, every week when we plan the service, Bob and Deb and I, and then Linda takes it from us, we fill out a worship form. And sometimes the hardest line on the form is, what is the theme of the Sunday? We'll have talked about the whole thing, we'll have all our ideas, but what is the theme? This week I knew immediately, compare and despair. It's such a great phrase, but not everybody caught on to what it meant right away. And I realized it's a newer phrase in my vocabulary, but one that is so apt, it really sticks. Comparing ourselves to others is as old as time and as disastrous as ever. In today's text, we see the earliest followers of Jesus doing just that. These early followers were comparing who is best. In this case, who's the best follower of Jesus? Who does it the right way? Not that anybody still does that. Let's make it perfectly clear right up front. Comparisons can go one of two ways. Some people need to prove to themselves that they are better than everyone else, and some people need to prove that they are worse than everyone else. Both are equally dangerous. The folks in today's texts are boasting. I'm a better Jesus follower because I was baptized by Paul, or I was baptized by Apollos, or by Cephas. I go to the Lutheran church, or the Catholic church, or the Methodist church. We do it the right way. Or perhaps your treatment plan or your recovery program is superior to another's. My AA group does it by the book. At my meeting, we end with the Lord's Prayer. Well, at my meeting, we end with the Serenity Prayer. Paul is trying to stand back and critique those who are playing the comparison game, but it is hard for him not to get hooked in just a little. Did you notice that? He says, luckily I didn't baptize anyone other than Crispus and Gaius. Oh, except for the household of Stephanus. And beyond that, well, I really just can't remember. But here's the deal. None of us are called to be the church of Paul. None of us are called to be the church of Joe. None of us are called to be the church of Martha. But when we compare, whether we are the best things in sliced bread or the worst piece of garbage that ever walked the face of the earth, it's all about us. There's no room for God. Do you ever take those quizzes on the internet? Good, I'm seeing Annie's shaking no. For some reason I got on this mailing list and I get these quizzes almost every day from Quiz Club. Don't sign up for it. Many times I can resist, and some I know better than to take. Like when it says, do you want to find out if you're as smart as a 5th grader? Or, do you know all the rivers in Africa? But sometimes my curiosity gets the best of me, and this week a quiz popped up and said, find out which food you are in the food pyramid. I mean, what does that even mean? And who wouldn't be at least just a little bit curious? So I took the quiz. Vegetable. Go figure. I wanted to be chocolate, but you know. Go figure. But one of the questions struck me and stayed with me. It asked, how do you measure success? And the 6 choices were family, friends, job, money, house, car. What do you think of this list? Obviously, it represents some of the things our culture values when rating success. I vacillated between family and friends. But where was God? Where was service? Where was loving others as you wish to be loved? What is it to have a successful life? Many people do evaluate how they are doing by comparing themselves to other people's social media posts, especially young people. well, and not so young people. You compare your insides, your insecurities and fears to other people's outsides, the version of themselves they would like everyone to see. And we do compare. We do sometimes feel jealousy and envy. And it's not easy. Maybe you watch a mom at church chasing after her feisty toddler, and you know the pain of infertility. Or you see a coworker get the promotion that you've been working for. Or a friend announces his engagement while you long for marriage and a loving relationship. Maybe you see someone who doesn't give a thought about their health and energy when your chronic illness makes every day a challenge. We can make ourselves pretty miserable by comparing ourselves to others. We will always find people who are smarter, more beautiful, younger or older, thinner, richer. You know, there used to be a saying, I hope it's not still a saying, that a woman can never be too thin or rich. Whoa. I think that was like Coco Chanel or something. She was pretty much both those things. Or how about someone whose recovery seems so much easier than yours? They don't have cravings every day. Or the person who hasn't lost a loved one and isn't grieving. Or the person who hasn't relapsed or who isn't too broke to pay for their rent. Or who never had to deal with this stupid brain disease of addiction in the first place. Think of those people. But the bottom line is, it really doesn't matter if it's easier or harder for someone else. That has absolutely nothing to do with you. If it was just a matter of making ourselves miserable by always comparing, then we might just get what we deserve. But we can do real harm to others. I have seen too many families going through divorce or a split and getting into major competition. I'm seeing that in my family right now. Each parent trying to outdo the other to be the best father or the best mother, only to deeply wound the children. If you want to be the best mom, help the kids love their dad, and vice versa. Fortunately, there's good news. There's a way out of this self-seeking misery. Paul ends this passage with a paradoxical line. He says, the message from the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. This is a way of saying that when we surrender our need for power, control, recognition, or praise, and embrace the death of self that Christ meets on the cross, then we will find life. Then we will find we can rejoice in another's joy rather than envying it. Then we can know that it is precisely in our brokenness that the light of God shines through. Then we will be able to accept the life God has given us, just as it is, right now, and say, thank you.